Thank you, Stephen. And now I'm back here in this plane at this time and space for our last speaker of the afternoon, is Annaleah Atkinson. And Annaleah actually took her first ILC in January '76. She wanted to strengthen her connection to Source, and she became an ILC guide that fall, a minister in 1998. She and her husband Joshua actually founded a residential spiritual community outside Asheville, North Carolina. And on Wednesday evenings there, they invited people to come for healing using all kinds of different techniques. And so, now her focus has become Course in Miracles, healing as one of the elements of what she's doing. And her topic is, you're a healer and you can begin today. And Annaleah is on Zoom.
I'm so glad to see all of you. I have no idea who's there, but anyway, I'm very excited to, Rob was talking about how interesting, the calm in the storm. And I'm like healing from the person with COVID. But anyway, I absolutely believe in our God self ability to heal. But what I would like for you to do, you've just been sitting for a while, and we're actually going to move some energy. If you would get up and get a half a glass of water, drink half a glass of water. I'm talking, I guess, more to the people in the center. Anyway, if it could pull, is walk and move a little bit. And while you're getting your water, okay, so please get a glass of water, get up, and when you come back, bring a person you would like to work with energetically, because we're going to do hands-on. And if you're home, if there's someone that you would like to bless with your touch and healing, bring that person over. All right? I myself, I'm going to go get a half a glass of water. I'll be back in a minute. God, make it so that whoever needs to hear this will hear this. I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. Over and over again, it teaches, and so do many, many of the world religions and spiritual practices, that all healing comes from the mind, not the brain mind that's figuring out what's going on here, what's going on there. I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this. It's the great mind, the one mind that is totally connected to all mind, totally held within the love of God. And that's where we reside. This is what we are. Now, we don't necessarily experience that. What we experience is what our mind chatter gives us sometimes. But the truth is that all healing comes from the higher mind. One of the things that the Course said, and I led the pre-gathering group through an exercise. It says, anytime that you feel uncomfort of any kind, it's a sign that you have a sense that you have hurt your brother. There is something not right between you and another being. A relationship needs mending. Now, in every religion, there are people there. The Jewish religion has the scapegoat that goes out and everybody's sins go with it. Catholics have confession, and then they have a clean slate. They trust a higher mystical power to heal that. Well, the Course in Miracles says that we have that as well. The Holy Spirit, if we choose to make something right, the Holy Spirit will take our decision and undo all the consequences of our mistake if we let them. So, to heal, we need to feel peace, joy, and love, because that's where healing energy comes from. When we see that in another person, when we experience it in our own being, we can see that and feel that in another person. When Chris sang "See Beyond," this is what he's saying. You see beyond what your perception has told you about someone. You see beyond your projections of your own stuff onto someone else. Because the truth is, we are all clean slates of God's love. That's really a fact. And I sense that you know that. And so we don't know how to undo our mistakes. We don't. And I recently read a story about Corrie ten Boom, who was in a concentration camp in Holland. And she was having a problem um, because she had come out. Her sister had been killed there, her mother, other people in her family had been killed. But she had come out and she was teaching forgiveness. She had done her best to overcome this until one day she was face to face with the person who killed her sister and her family. And he wanted her to forgive him. And she's like, oh, I don't think I can do that. I don't know how to forgive that. And he extended his hand to her. Now, the Course in Miracles says that God itself is the energy behind all love and all forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tool that God uses to help all of his kids get along better. So when he extended his hand, she said, I can extend my hand. And when she extended her hand and touched his, an incredible energy went through her. And she was able to totally forgive and feel absolute peace and even joy at the relief of this being gone from her. Because when you hold a grudge, it weighs you down. So what the Course says is, if you get to the place where you have no grudges against anyone, where you feel forgiven, where you feel at peace with everyone, then you have no need for sickness, because it's guilt that creates sickness. At the 3D level, unconscious, I know I have COVID symptoms right now, but I also know that I am not this body. Because another thing that it says, the mind of God understands that the dreamer in form may experience different dreams, which may look like symptoms, may be symptoms, but that God self is not affected by any form that those symptoms may take, recognizes them all as illusions. Now, I understand this is way esoteric, but I've been using it for a year. Marianne Williamson had in 1917 a workshop on preparing for the year of 2018, how to get clean, how to be absolutely open to the highest that we could possibly imagine for ourselves. And she shared in A Course in Miracles the prayer of attunement. Now, there are copies of it perhaps left on the table because we did use it, but I will read you through it. I will read you through the exercise, What she is saying is, we get up in the morning, nobody ever wants to create pain in another person, create conflict in a day, hurt anyone. No. But whatever happens, we're triggered, we're exhausted, we're pushed beyond our limits, and we snap. We say something we don't mean to say or do something we don't mean to do. And we don't feel good about it, but we don't really know how to undo it. And she says, if you just try to say, forgive yourself, that's actually reinforcing, oh, I did this bad thing. But the Holy Spirit will undo it. Why? Because the Holy Spirit rules the world of mind. If the world is an illusion, the Holy Spirit can go into where this event occurred and undo it and think for God for me when I was not able to do it for myself in that moment. I've decided I want it done now. I want the Holy Spirit to think for God for me when I said this thing to my mother or to my child, or I thought this about somebody. All right? So we're going to do that. We're going to come really, really clean. We're going to have a real undoing experience. There was a lot of positive feedback for this from the pre-gathering group. After we did one, they wanted to do another, but we're not. We're going to do one, and then you're going to be clear, and you will have before you someone that you want to exchange energy with, that you are going to see with your clear eyes now, your loving presence, and the peace and the joy that that brings. You will make a difference in that person's life. Okay, so now go back in your mind. Close your eyes. We're going to do this with your eyes closed. And remember a time when you did or said something that did not come from the true you, the God self you. And now go in your mind, see that person as a holy child of God. See yourself as a holy child of God. And I'm going to read this, and you agree, you think it with me. In this situation, I must have decided wrongly, for I am not at peace. Okay? I made the decision myself. I'm accepting responsibility here. But I can also decide otherwise. I want to decide otherwise because I want to be at peace. I do not feel guilty because the Holy Spirit will undo all the consequences of my wrong decision if I will let him. And what that means is if I truly give it to the Holy Spirit to let it go, and then the Holy Spirit will do that. So let's do this now. Give the Holy Spirit the power to decide for God for you in this moment. And you confirm, I choose to let him by allowing him to decide for God for me. And now just be still. and let it be. Now return your consciousness to the here and now of where you are. And if you have your person in front of you, make it so your chairs are facing each other. This is an old ILC technique that is tried and true. See the person in front of you as they are, with your pure eyes, with your pure heart. See that person before you. Now, scoot your chairs together so that you can each put your right foot over the other person's left foot very gently. Okay? So both you are grounding each other in love, and each of you put your left palm up, and the other person put your right palm on their left palm. Close your eyes for a moment. And feel the energy. It comes in your left foot and left hand and goes back through your right hand into their left. And it does make a circuit of healing going through each of your hearts. Left hand up through my heart, my loving space, and with joy back down my right hand to the being in front of me. But, and you can imagine someone, if you don't have a person with you, imagine somebody that you love dearly, and they will receive it. Allow this circuit to work and think, I love you. I see you whole. You don't need to know any symptoms a person has. They're all equally illusion, very real to the person. But in the truth of reality, not real. So you just are making this circuit. I love you. That comes into your heart. And I see you whole as it goes into your right hand. I love you. And I see you whole. I love you. I feel your truth. I love you. I feel your peace. I love you. We are one. Now open your eyes slowly and look into the left eye, the receptive eye, the person across from you. Imagine it so. If you don't have a person with you, keep your eyes closed and imagine it with that being. Be not afraid to look into the love of another person. Jesus was able to heal. He said, everything I do, you also can do. And he always saw us whole. He felt his own love and joy and peace and faith. And that affected everyone he came in contact with. Look in. And then when you are comfortable, close your eyes again and feel that energy. Every cell in your body is being affected by this heightened energy. Every cell remembers the sacredness of your true being. And your body is your wholly neutral best friend. Your body is here. You built it. You created it. And you created, when you create symptoms, it's to teach you. And you know what that is because you built it. Use this exercise more than once with yourself. Forgiving until you feel absolutely clear. You know, Jesus said, before you pray, make everything right with your brother. This is making it right. This atonement exercise. Or if they're right in the space with you, you can make it right. Hey, you know, I snapped at you back then. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You deserve better than that, and I'll try not to be so stressed next time. I'll listen to Rob's workshop. Anyway, be at peace. Now gently disengage your feet and take your hands before your heart. Just place them together. It's just symbolic, but it's offering gratitude to God who does all the healing, the true healing that lasts. Symptoms may come and go the rest of your lives, but you'll know what to do with them. Thank you, beloved. And now, with the person that you're with, take a few moments to share, to offer each other some feedback about what you felt or an impression. But stay in the glow. are some catchwords. 3 words, key words that can bring me back to this state. And it's peace, love, and joy. I went to my altar today to pray, and I asked God, I said, okay, I want this to be a meaningful class. And I want you to tell me everything I need to know. And I just got this sense, where's the peace, love, and joy? And I was like, oh yeah. I rebooted. Peace, love, joy. And so it is. We can end this with, I think I have 2 minutes of silence. Thank you. Thank you for making, every time one person in the Great One is healed, the whole is healed. So thank you, Jerry. Take it away.